Hi guys, welcome back. Eric here. Sorry for the delay. It's been about 10 days since my last post. Just some personal stuff to take care of. I'm gonna get on a better run and get a bunch more out of here. We're starting with video 51 here. This is the Dragons 2. I do number them because you can't label something repeatedly. And so as I get some of these, I revisit, or I come up with a different way to do something, or I see a picture of something that I like that I want to do, and it's like, well, I've already done a dragon or something like that, but there's lots of different types of dragons and different ways to do birds and different ways to do other things like that. Sorry. So let's get into this one. You can also call it the sea dragons. Also, a lot of people say, well, just make it a sea dragon because it looks like an S. Like, well, that's fine. Do what you want. I chose not to. All right, so this one I still did a jersey, and there's let's go right to uniforms real quick. And I do like the light blue, works really well. If you look at the home jersey, I think it looks nicer on the home with white. And then I do the pinstripes on the other one. All right, so let's get into the logo. Color-wise, you're gonna need a medium light blue. Right there, it's a little on the higher side. And then medium blue, a little bit to the light black, and then white. I don't believe I use any other. I think it's just those four. All right, so let's get into it. 32 layers. Pretty easy to design. I think this took me about 30 minutes to do. All right, so we're gonna do outline in the light blue and then outline in the dark blue. And there's a reason for it, because when you do both, it kind of gives it a little bit more of a glow that I found. And there we go. All right, well, obviously you can tell there's going to be a lot of switch tints in here, so let's get into it. Black, negative 85, 138, 12, rotation 30, scale, copy it, and negative 118, 85, 335, and 30 on the scale, copy it, negative 91, 41, 274, rotation 25, scale, copy it, negative 56, negative 12, 250, rotation 25, scale. Then copy flip, 146, negative 41, 32, rotation 25, scale. And copy it, 161, negative 114, 80, rotation 24, scale. Copy one last time, 95, negative 161, 144, rotation 24, scale. Then Arrowhead, and if you're looking to save some layers, if you want to do a little bit more on this, go into text and get the greater than or less than sign, and you can do a couple of those together. I think there's about 6 or 7 different ones in there that would work really well on this, where you could just stack a couple of them and then you could just do bend, and then you could save a couple layers. I wasn't really any worry about saving layers when I was doing this, so so I pretty much was just able to go with Arrowhead. But like I said, you could use the text function to save at least 2 layers if you did that with the greater than or less than signs. All right, so Arrowhead black, 57, 8, 297 rotation, 17 scale. Sorry, that's my dumb dog walking into things. Copy it, negative 2, 15, 273 rotation, 17 scale. Copy it, 57, 146, 96 rotation, 16 scale. Copy it, negative 25, negative 131, 115 rotation, 16 scale. And then do the rim, half circle. These are all in black, sorry. Negative 49, 63, 81 rotation, 29 scale. Copy it and flip it, 119, 180, or negative 87, 276 rotation, 29 scale. Copy it, negative 126, negative 122, 120 rotation, 29 scale. Quarter ring, 6, negative 115, 196 rotation, and 41 scale. When I did post this originally, somebody asked me what the idea on this was, and back when I actually entertained the idea of getting a tattoo, I liked dragons. I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons, and so I saw a lot of these Asian type dragons, and this was somewhat similar to something that I was interested in. And so I took a look at different kind of the serpent type dragon tattoos and pictures that I've seen, and then went with this. And this was actually, it was really simple. I mean, I pretty much just pictured in my head what I wanted to do was going to be like an S, and knowing, like I said, I have scary spatial relation skills, so I kind of just knew that the half circle rim was going to be in there a little bit, that a bunch of swish 10s, the arrowhead, and then the swish for the jaw. I'll show that one in a second. So another quarter ring, 64, -31, 28 rotation, 43 scale. And so it just kind of came to me, and I just like the colors, and I hadn't done a blue, logo in a while, so that's just what the color came out to. Swish 10, -97, 64, 42 rotation, 19 scale. Then arc down here on the tail, and the arc's kind of doing double duty the way I do it. See it? Okay, so -98, -151, 32 rotation, 53 scale. Sorry. Then we do another arc. -88, -167, 18 rotation, 34 scale. -122, -169, 69 rotation, and 28 scale. And another person asked me, like, where do I get my ideas from? And a lot of it is just, I look at, sports teams that are out there. I highly recommend, if you really want to do some cool logos, look at minor league logos. I did one the other day for the Stockton Ports, which looks like some Popeye looking sailor holding a giant piece of asparagus. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, but it's hilarious. And it's like the minor league teams had the greatest logos for all sports, but especially baseball. They got some really just crazy ones on there, and it's a really good way of getting ideas. All right, so then Swish 9, very interesting piece. It's good for jaws, for like a bottom jaw. Also top of a jaw too, if you're looking for like, that looks like a good top of the jaw for a lot of different animals too. 25, 120, 69 rotation, 31 scale. Then of course the Swish 10, -27, 170, 29 rotation, 29 scale. Trapezoid 1, that give a little bit more shape to the head. 59, 142, 287 rotation, 18 scale. Quadrant 1 for the nose. If you've been paying attention, I've been using that a lot. A couple months ago, I just started using Quadrant 1 a lot more when I'm doing faces, just to kind of help shape the nose right on a lot more of these creatures. So that one's at 114, 128, 10 rotation, 7 scale. And then waves. Waves are good for teeth. It's a good one here. You can also go into text function, use comma, and I think it's like the 12 or 14 or 15. It also does really good teeth too, and you can bend them if you need to. All right, Swish 11 for the tongue. Didn't want to do a forked tongue just because it's not a snake, so just do just regular kind of tongue. And also you could make it like it's going to be fire or electricity or whatever type of dragons. I'm sorry, I'm dating myself for my D&D nerddom. 103, 64, 73 rotation, 16 scale. Then a Swish 10 for the horn, the back of the head, or the crest of the head, if you want to say. 45, 179, 252 rotation, 27 scale. Then I do a comma, 16. So 16 font for comma. That's also a good tooth. So if you look at this one, that makes a good tooth. All right. So that's at 56, 150, 259 rotation, 8 scale, and font 16. Quarter ring, just to finish off the neck. That's at -23, 100, 346 rotation, 28 scale. And then I do commas just to give a little bit more ridges to it. You could do a lot with this, but I just chose font 2, spacing 13, bend is the font style, and bend is at -11 to bend it out. So positive is bending it in, negative is bending it out. So if you're doing a word, let's say you're doing like a badge, and then you're doing a wording, and so you want the letters are bending out, you're gonna bend negative. And then if you're gonna bend them in like they're at the bottom of a badge, then you're going to do a positive bend. And that's just the easiest way to remember that. All right, that's it, 32 layers, nice and easy. Again, this took me maybe not even a half an hour. I pretty much had the idea in my head of what I wanted to do. And I know it seemed odd that I did all the spikes, the swish 10s first. I actually didn't. I did the curves first, but then I put the swishes in. I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do it with the outline, so I ended up dropping all the way down and then deciding I was going to make it all run together. I wasn't going to try to sit there and separate any of the shapes this way. So nice and easy. Will look good with a lot of different colors. You can't really go wrong. Black in anything is going to look good. Black in a hot pink back, black in a lime green, black in a dark red with a lighter red accent. You can do yellow. Name a color, you can do it. It would look good with this. So it just would be your preference. All right, and so then when I did the name, just so you can see what I did, font 15, like the D on that. And again, when I do these teams, I try to not use the same fonts if I can. And also, I talked about, like, if you want to do swords, like there's certain letters, like this D also is another good hilt. It's maybe a little bit more of a generic hilt of a sword, but if you wanted to do a sword, this is a good one. And then 16 is always good, and then my favorite is 2. 2 is like the really nice fancy French musketeer type sword. That's how I used in the musketeers. You can also use it as like you want to make a big fancy G2. All right, so I'm not saving that, and so that, no, I'm not saving. All right, that is the Dragons 2. Made this one probably about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. And next one up is going to be the Ducks. It's one from the fall. It's a badge type. And thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. If you have comments, please feel free to do so.